Welcome back everybody. So this is gonna be a quick update video for you guys on stock market, and before we get started, please smash that like button, and 100 plus likes on this video would be greatly appreciated guys. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. Now if you want to get my daily trade ideas, swing trade ideas, live trading, and you want to support the channel, definitely check out their link down below in the description for Patreon. Dow is down 0.15%, Nasdaq going up 0.12%, so kind of a flat here on Nasdaq, and S&P also staying flat on the day, and Russell going down 1.59% on Friday. And here's 11 sectors that makes up S&P 500. On top, we got communication services on Friday, technology, consumer defensive, real estate, healthcare, utilities, financial. And then on bottom, we got industrials, energy, consumer cyclical, and basic materials lagging behind. Now week to date performance right here guys, and you can see right here technology leading the way on top, so completely risk on move here in the market, and definitely that is led by 2-3 stocks: Nvidia, Apple, and Microsoft. Technology up over 5%, real estate up almost 1%, communication services, and then we got utilities, healthcare, everything else pretty much in deep red for last week. And what we got here on stock market map: Tesla down 2.44%, Amazon staying flat, Netflix getting a big breakout up 2.47%, Meta flat, Google going up 0.92%, Apple down 0.82%, Adobe with earnings up over 14.5%, Microsoft going up and pretty much closing at a new all-time high up 0.22%, and Nvidia also hitting a fresh new all-time high and closing at a brand new all-time high up 1.75%. But look at right here, regional banks, bigger banks, and industrials and energy are down on the day on Friday. So let's get started with Dow Jones ETF DIA, and you can see DIA not participating in that rally, and this rally is led by 3 stocks only: Microsoft, Nvidia, and Apple. Nothing else. That is your market, and these 3 stocks are going up, and guess what? Because of these stocks going up, S&P 500 and Nasdaq 100 pretty much hitting all-time highs again and closing at a brand new all-time high. But look at the all-time high here on Dow Jones, 401, and it's trading at almost 383 on Friday. We got a bit of a bounce off of this support and this trend line right here from 383 to 384. We got a bounce, and now it's trading at 386.46. So for next week guys, there will be strong support at 384, 382, this trend line, and if that gives up, you're going to see a flush. That is going to be a big flush, easily down to not only 380, down to this lows right here, 376, and then you're going to see a new low right here on this daily time frame, and that could be 367. Now to the upside, you can see 50 SMA, this red line, 13 SMA, this orange line, and blue line, 5 SMA, all sitting here around 387 to 388. So if we can actually clear 388 to 390 on DIA, then watch out for continuation to the upside and possibly going back up to 400 again. Until then, there might be some downside in the short term. Soon as this thing breaks under 376, you're going to see a flush all the way down to 367, and especially you need to watch this trend line right here, where we got a bounce right here, right here, right here, multiple times, even right here where I actually bought the dip last time and sold for a profit here. Now again reaching up to this trend line, which is sitting close to 382. So that is going to be your line in the sand below 384. If that gives up, definitely you're going to see Dow Jones going down even more. So here's another one, IWM, which is down 1.59%, and this is definitely telling us that market is not healthy because, average American or average person here in America not having a good time. Look at the small caps. This thing is down. I mean, look at this gap up and crap on CPI report, and pretty much gave away all the gains plus, right? This thing was up like 3%, over 3% right here, almost 208 or 207, and now it's trading at 198 and barely holding 198 as a support. We gapped down on Friday, and it was not able to actually go up and close this gap right here at 200.51. So going into Monday session, your line in the sand 198. If that gives up, you're going to see slowly continuation to the downside. It's going to be a big breakdown all the way down to 193 and possibly even 188. To the upside, watch out, we might get a bounce up to 200 to close this gap here on top. And over 200, this thing can move up to 202, and then watch out for this negative sloping 20-day moving average 204. That's gonna be a resistance to watch. Once we get over 204, then we can talk about more upside on IWM. Until then, this is actually looks like a strong downtrend, and it might continue going down even more next week. Now, a lot of people will say it's not gonna come down and we're just bullish and it's just gonna go up. And trust me, I'm also a bull. I don't like to see market crashing or anything, but when things are overbought, I'm gonna call it. Just like when I called it right here that do not short this, things are oversold. Don't go and short into this hole. You're gonna lose money. And now, if you're new money long, you're going to lose money. This is not the time to go and buy and go long here in this market. And why? I mean, look at this thing. How many times you have seen NASDAQ 100 triple Q right here closing outside the Bollinger Band for multiple days, and the RSI hitting near 80, guys, on this daily time frame. That is just insane. And not to mention 2-3 days ago we gapped up from the CPI report, and this thing actually never came back to close this gap, this recent gap at 468. As a matter of fact, forget about filling this gap down here. It was continuing to push even higher and higher, and now almost to the next target, 480, and the next stop will be 486, which is gonna be even more overbought. Not only the RSI, look at this upper Bollinger Band now sitting at 477, and the ETF itself trading at almost 480. So can we afford and can we get another pullback down to 468 to close this gap and possibly find a higher low? Well, definitely that is on the card for next week. So next week, if we can get that breakout over 480, this thing can continue even higher, possibly up to 486. And below 480, watch out for a pullback, possibly down to this 5-day moving average first, which is gonna be 472.58. But below that, watch out right here, guys. 474-ish right here, this level. And if you go back and look at this, let's say 30-minute time frame, you'll see, it was holding pretty strong right here, 474. So until we get under that level, 474, and then we also take out 472.58 rising 5-day moving average. If that happens, you can still short and play this down to this gap, 468, and that is still a decent amount of money to be made right here. That is a $4 move to the downside, breaking under 5-day moving average and then filling this gap right here. Also, if you're playing it to the upside, like I said, there is no opportunities right here to go long and buy here on top. If you're shorting, definitely I would take profit, at least people that are buying weekly puts or maybe 2 weeks out right here at 468, because this is going to be a strong level whenever we get that pullback this week or next week. 468 should hold. But if that gives up, then watch out for 466 to 465 right here, this 3-day balance range right here. And below that, you're going to see a dump off down to 460, and that is a long way down from 480 in just a matter of 1 or 2 weeks. So watch out. Triple Q definitely looks bullish, and it can continue a little bit higher, but at some point you're going to see a strong pullback, at least in the near short term, down to this gap, 468. On SPY ETF, it's absolutely flat on the day, and if you look at my screen now, there will be resistance at 543 right here. If that breaks, you're going to see a move a little bit more up to the upside. That's going to be 546 to even 550, which is going to be even more overbought at that point. And same thing applies here. So I'm not going to show you guys RSI and what the Bollinger Band is doing, but it's definitely way outside the Bollinger Band, at least on Friday, and then came back in a little bit better than Q's. This thing came back in under 540, but again, look at this rising 5-day moving average. This blue line is sitting really close to 540, so that level needs to break in order for this thing to come down another $3 to close this gap, 537, and that should be a strong support. And below that, we also have support down here at 535, 532 to 533, these two moving averages. And then we can talk about a bigger dump off, possibly down to this previous all-time highs right here, 524 to 525. Now, to the upside, even though things are overbought, it can still go up from here. So watch out for a breakout over 543, and that should take S&P 500 or SPY ETF here in this case up to 546 and possibly up to even 550. So the VIX was up 6% on Friday, and guess what the market did? I mean, absolutely nothing. It was kind of a flat day, and this thing got over 13 bucks, but you can see it came in again under 13, but looks like it's not actually, under 5-day moving average, which is sitting at 12.45. So that's going to be a support to watch, and below that, right down here, 11.52 on VIX. Now, VIX can break and hold 13, then this thing can push easily up to 14.10 right here, and then possibly up to 15 bucks. And once we get above 15, that's going to be a real breakout, and you're going to see a decent pullback here in this market. So the dollar was up on Friday 0.31%, and this thing pushing up to the upside, where we saw S&P 500 going flat and not giving a crap about dollar going up. So are we going to see who's actually lying this week? Maybe it's S&P 500 who's lying and not coming down, or maybe the dollar, which is actually breaking out to the upside, and this is actually a fake breakout to the upside, and we'll see dollar actually crashing again. We will find out this week, guys. So now you can see dollar went above the upper Bollinger Band and then came back 105.65. That's the level, and now it's trading at 105.52, trading just under upper Bollinger Band and holding over 105.20 right here, holding above rising 5-day moving average. So as long as I would say dollar can stay above 105, we should see some more continuation all the way up to 106 and possibly up to this high, 106.52. Now 105 gives up. That is when you're going to see dollar coming off, possibly coming down to 104.48, and that's going to be fuel to the fire for S&P 500 to push and go up even more. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section, and I'll definitely keep you guys updated.